There is a lot of information floating out there in the world, so how do you know when to pay for it? Welcome to Allie on Life, where I believe that every life is a beautiful story and I want to help you tell yours. A month or so ago, I was chatting in a Facebook group and someone asked an interesting question. So I thought I really need to make a video about that. And here it is. The question was, I am trying to make a product and I'm really having trouble convincing people that it is a product they should pay for because in the audience that I'm in and the target market and all that, they think that this particular information should be free. Now, it's a fact that there is a lot of information out there in the world, and a lot of it is free. You can look things up on the internet, in a library, in a book. You can talk to friends. You can go to YouTube. There's just so many things that you can do to find free information. And I did talk a little bit about choosing whether to find your information from a book, a course, or a coach. But I didn't necessarily go that deep into how or when to know when you need to pay for the information that you're looking for. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. As far as it goes, for me, I actually have two information-based degrees. I have a bachelor's degree in history and I have a master's degree in library science. And I like to joke that it basically means that I have a bachelor's degree in trivia and a master's degree in how to look up trivia. And really, when it comes down to it, that's what it is. So I have a lot of information in my head and I know how to find a lot of information without paying for it. So it's really important to me to know, is this something that I can find for free quickly? Is it something that I need to pay someone to teach me or to tell me or, something like that? Now, when I decide that I am not going to pay for information, it is for several reasons. One, if I can Google it very quickly. Now, I'm really good at Google. There are a lot of places where you can find information on the internet that are bad. And lots of times the top hit on your search is not going to be the best source of information. Now, sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's because a website has paid Google to put their site first. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best. Now, if you know that and you know how to kind of sort through some of that information, you can find some good stuff pretty quickly just by Googling it. Of course, we all know that, right? That's not a big secret. You can also find information in a library. If you have access to a public library or a college library, a university library, even a school library, you can find lots of information there in things like not only the internet, but databases and journals and those kinds of things that libraries have. They also have these really cool like physical objects that you can go and get off a shelf and look up information. They're called books. They still exist and they still contain good stuff. I could do a whole long thing about when to find information in an actual book versus online. But basically, the question is this information that has always been true? Is it information that I need to know from a historical context? Or is it information that I need to have the most up-to-date information? Because if you need to have the most up-to-date at the minute information, like a news source or something like that, usually the internet is a better bet than a book. Also, when you have lots of time to really investigate and do a lot of research into something, it's something maybe you're really interested in and you want to kind of become an expert and at some level in that area, or maybe it's a skill that you don't have yet, but you want to develop a system, you want to learn how to do that thing. Those kinds of information, if you have a lot of time to put into it, you can put all that time in and all it costs you is the time, which really might be more costly than money if you think about it, because, we eventually run out of time. We can always get more money. And then, of course, you can just get information by talking to people, whether it's a friend or a teacher or someone that you know who happens to know about the topic that you're interested in. You can just talk because people love to share their knowledge, especially if you know someone like me. I love to share knowledge. So if you want to ask me something about any information, any topic, any subject that I know anything about it, you're going to get it for free because I will just talk forever. And that's just a fact. And it's not just me. Lots of other people are like that too. Also, you can look things up on YouTube where many people have put all of their knowledge out there just for free. And all you have to do is search for it and you can find, pretty much anything on YouTube, right? I mean, look at me. Anyone can be on YouTube telling you information about things for free. So those are all the sources that I look to when I'm looking for free information. Now, how do I decide when it is worth paying for something? In my opinion, one reason to pay for information is when the person that you are getting the information from is an expert on the topic and they're charging for it. I mean, they may be an expert in giving it away for free, and that's just fine. But if they are an expert and they are charging for it, you can probably pay them for it. So you're paying them for their knowledge and their information and expertise. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's basically paying someone for their time. Another time is when they are providing you with a system. If it's a done for you thing or a DIY thing, even, that you just sort of plug in whatever it is that you're trying to do into their system and it works just great, well, that saves you a whole bunch of time. So pay them for it. There's nothing wrong with that. Why do I keep saying there's nothing wrong with paying people for things? Because there's nothing wrong with paying people for things. That is how the world operates. That's how we make a living. That is a big reason for why you should pay for something, because someone developed it and it's kind of like, hey, thank you. Here's some money for that. See, it's really nice. Another time to pay for things is when someone is offering live training or feedback, because again, you're paying them for your time. I feel like there's like a theme here where you're paying people for the time and the effort that they put into something. That's a good time to actually pay for information. And if they're offering you feedback or coaching, or it's a live training, I see a lot of people who put out paid workshops. I love that. I think that's a great idea. I might do that someday. It's like, hey, there's this topic that I'm really good at, so I'm going to teach on it for an hour or two, and it's going to cost you 20, 50, $100, whatever. Really, the market is what determines the price. I mean, if someone wants to charge $20 for something and a bunch of people are willing to pay for it, great. If they want to charge $100 for it and no one will pay for it, then maybe they shouldn't charge so much. The market is a weird thing, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Another time to pay for something is when you don't have the time to really research it or develop it yourself. And I kind of mentioned this already, and again, it's in the theme of paying people for time, because time is very valuable, so you can exchange money for it. If it will save you time, you can pay money. That's how that works. Another time to pay for something is if it will noticeably improve your life. For example, if it will help you make money, it's a good thing to pay for. If it will take you from being, one kind of person to another kind of person. If it will help you fix a problem that you're dealing with, whether that's, a problem around the house, a problem in your business, a problem in your own mind, as far as like, mental health, therapy, that kind of thing. All of those things are worth paying for because they will improve your life significantly and therefore are worth money. Also, when something is just really good, quality is worth paying for. We pay our favorite artists for the albums that they put out, whether we do that digitally or, there used to be these things, discs that we would pay for, and we'd put them in a disc machine, that would play them. But now we pay for services online to listen to the people who put out quality programs and music and entertainment and all of the things that we enjoy, because it's just good, so we pay for it. You can pay people for their talents as well as for their time and for the effort that they put into something. Again, it's saying thank you, here's some money for the thing that you created. There are probably a lot more reasons to pay for things, but my last one that I'm going to share with you is when you are a fan of the person. This is kind of a new thing, but it's also kind of an old thing. It goes along with that really old historical concept of being a patron of a creator or something like that. If I'm in someone's Facebook group and I get a lot of great value out of the things that they're sharing, but I don't necessarily have the money to invest in maybe a long-term coaching program or something that they're doing, their high ticket offer, I will look for low ticket things that they may be offering, maybe a small little workshop or a mini course or something like that I can pay them as a way of saying thank you for providing all this value to me. For example, Amy Landino, as you know, if you have ever watched any of my videos, is one of my favorite YouTubers. And a few years ago, she started a Patreon, and that was for a book that she was putting out. It was like she was going to share ideas and get feedback from people and stuff, and it was a monthly fee, and I was like, yay, I can pay her for something. Here, take my money, because I thought she was fantastic, and well, I still do. And I still pay for things that I'm involved in that she does, because I think she's so great. It's like, thank you for doing this thing. Here's some money. So again, it's appreciation, Its time, its value, expertise, all of those things are good reasons to pay for something. Those are all of my reasons that I can think of right now. I might have more. You might have more too. So if you have reasons for why you would pay for something, please put that in the comments. We can talk about that a little bit more. And hey, guess what? I have a product that you can pay for. It is my book. Ah. Stop thinking about writing, just write. And there's a link to purchase it in the description for this video. Now, if you want to keep seeing this free content from me, that is totally fine. I just ask that you subscribe to this channel and like this video if you liked the content. That way I kind of know what topics to keep talking about. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Now get out there and tell your story because someone needs to hear it.